Let me
All
get
right.
that. Okay, my DX story has been engaged, like so many warp drives.
All all right. Let me get my clock up here on my iPad. I don't know if I put it in the kind of like instructional file or whatever, but we'll do like the 30 minutes and then I'll set the timer for when we start.
Hmm.
And when the 30 minutes go off, we can do like a 10, 15-minute break, depending on what you prefer. Or we can do like no break at all. It's all up to you. Like I can go on building. Some people want to get like water and stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't know if, you're gonna need water or whatever, but basically do 30 minutes and, we can do a break or whatever and then 30 minutes. So,
Okay, yeah. I mean, we'll see how I'm feeling. I guess if I have to use the restroom or whatever, but
okay,
otherwise, I'm inclined to just power through.
okay, cool.
Because
And then
it
for
does get late here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, and then for the call, we just like mute each other or
Hmm.
mute our own mics. That way, um, if you want, you can keep a timer up on your side too. But on my side, I'll keep the timer and I'll give you like, I don't know, 5-minute warning and 2-minute warning or something like that.
Okay.
Um, Making sure that I actually look at the timer.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, so that's how I think it's gonna roll. And if you have any questions,
No. If you just want to give whatever short intro that you are gonna give, I'm happy to start building.
all right. Well, we will just like sit up here, and then I'll send us to our corners, and we can just hop down. Do you have a preference to left or right?
No, I can barely tell one from the other unless I make the little L with my hand. It's a trick I picked up on the PBS hit series Dragon Tales,
Yes,
but
I
it
still find
works.
myself doing that occasionally.
So, no. And if I turn this way, left is over here and right's over there. The whole thing is confusing.
Yeah, I kind of realized that I was like looking at you, and your left and right is actually completely opposite of my left and right. So.
And you don't have any curtains, so I can't tell where stage left and stage right are either.
That it's quite true. So then I'd have to set up some barriers, and it's just pointless.
Yeah, and of course, you need to get actually union stage workers and stuff. You just can't do that on your own, but
All right. Well, I will actually. I'll set the time to 0, and then before we start, I'll set the time to day, and then we'll just let the time lapse naturally, since you said that may be part of your creation.
mhm.
All right. I feel I am stalling, so I am just going to get this on with.
Can you turn off that TV in the background?
Oh, sure.
Because I was gonna say that's gonna show up on your, if not mine.
How is it now? Oops, now it's entirely off instead of just turned down, so I guess it's perfect.
Well, wait, were you gonna record with the television on?
I had some family watching television.
Oh,
So my computer is in the central room, and so I either have to record in the morning when majority are at work or school, or
mhm.
late in the evening when they're going to bed.
Gotcha.
So, all right. At me. And this could go any way whatsoever because this is the first Redstone Wars I have done. So you're kind of the guinea pig.
Why did you choose me to do the first one?
I literally put names on a list of people I had on my contact lists who would possibly say yes.
Hmm.
And I closed my eyes and put my finger down on the piece of paper, and it happened to land next to your name.
Okay, fair enough. Because Generic B heard that I was gonna be first, and he's like, "You have many talents, but why would you be selected for this?"
Yeah, my Skype list of people who I know who actually have somewhat of a following that would actually say yes at the same time and kind of help mutually benefit both parties
Hmm.
is relatively slim, as I'm trying not to repeat contestants that Generic B has already done.
Hmm.
And since he's kind of done the majority of the Hermitcraft people, I'm kind of down to a slim list, and so just random selection happened to pick you.
And is there a prize for winning? Do I move on or
Not really.
no? Okay.
No, maybe I'll make a trophy.
I was gonna say you could Photoshop, or you could take a photograph. I don't know if your face is secret or not, but you could have a picture of yourself holding a piece of notebook paper that says Joe Hills won. Or if I lose, I'll make a notebook paper that says Doc Redstone won. Hold it up.
There you go. That might be actually pretty good because I've been holding out on my subscribers with my face. So
Mhm.
I don't know if you've actually watched any of the videos on my channel, but I've done 2 blogs, and the first time I was wearing a ski mask, and the second time I wore bandage wrap.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yes. All right. So now, all given, I will go ahead and start.
Okay.
All right. Whoops. Come on now. And I just like, there we go. All right, cool. There we go. Yo, 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 guys. This is Doc Redstone here with Joe Hills, the Nashville, Tennessee, I think, epic comedian. That intro just fell apart, but welcome, Joe.
Many things fall apart. Hemingway acknowledged it. Faulkner acknowledged it. I refuse to acknowledge it because I'm stubborn, but I'm glad to be here.
Well, welcome. So basically, guys, if you haven't seen a couple of my other videos, probably for about a minute or two, I'm gonna go into a little more deep, deep talk. But basically, Generic B a while back. If you don't know him, check out his channel. His link will be in the description because this is his series. Did the series Redstone Wars, and basically he challenged a bunch of unlucky suckers into a redstone match, and the winner took all, which happens to be nothing. But basically, recently I've gotten contact with him and asked him if I could take over Redstone Wars, and he said yes, and so here we are today. Now, in the video I uploaded, that some of you may have seen, I hope you've seen it, I asked for suggestions, and oddly enough, the most popular suggestion was the command block, which is extremely bizarre given that it's been released just recently, and the server was a pain in the butt to set up because of it. But we have the command block today, and that is the creation. So do you have any thoughts, Mr. Hills, as to the difficulty that this challenge may present?
The challenge of the command block lies in its possibilities. Seth Bling has created an entire recreation of Team Fortress 2, which is in turn a recreation of Team Fortress Classic, which is in turn a recreation of Team Fortress. And so, if he can do that, then clearly we could do incredible things as well, given that we have an entire hour, and he made that in like 5 or 10 seconds.
Well, there you go. What else can you say? I mean, when you compare it to Seth Bling, everything sounds easy.
Oh yeah, I mean the command block has been used to create animations, to create insane adventure map concepts. It's challenge. The biggest challenge in this is going to be doing something that's remotely original at this point, because even though it's only been around for a week and a half or 2 weeks, everybody's done insane stuff with it.
Exactly. And the fact that this is called Redstone Wars, we have to actually involve a certain element of redstone that pulls it all together.
It could pulse it all together, even.
I have been outpunned. All right. Well, if Joe has nothing else to say, and if he's not ready to admit defeat already, we will go ahead and get started. So I will let Joe pick his side first, and I will hop over to my side, which will be the one he does not pick.
Away!
All right, and I come over here, and we have 30 seconds on the clock for the first part, which you guys will see, and you will
30
see
seconds?
Oh, 30 minutes. Sorry, I'm glad you said that though. I need to fix that on my.
Does the clock actually read 30 seconds?
It does.
My,
That's
that
the
would have been
default
embarrassing
setting.
for you.
Oh my. You know that part you said earlier about very little editing? You haven't recorded with me yet.
Yeah, I'm using all this. We're doing it live.
All right, so I now have 30 minutes on the clock, and in 3 seconds, when the countdown starts, I will say go, and we will just mute each other, and I will let Joe know at the 5-minute mark, 3-minute mark, and possibly the 1 minute mark, if I remember. So, are you ready?
I am indeed.
All right. Well, we will start the countdown then, and I have to time both fingers to do the same thing. All right. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's get started.
Mute. Okay, so Doc Redstone should no longer be allowed or able to hear me, according to my Skype settings, which are invisible to you thanks to the magic of DX Story. This palette that lies before us is flat and boring, but you know what? In that flat boringness lies a canvas of possibility. And so, I started thinking, what would be cool to do in Redstone Wars? This is a big series. This was a big deal when Generic B did it, and I want to do well. I want to make cool things, and I'm not a huge Redstoner. Those of you who have seen my Redstone videos know that they're usually kind of failure festivals, I would almost say. Yeah, that's a kind way to put it, failure festivals. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to harden our hearts against the criticisms of those who have leveled such accusations in the past by hardening the ground with a bevy of this wonderful obsidian. So let's see, we got like 5 pieces of obsidian here, and we're just going to put in some stripes, and apparently it's dawn now. So 1, 2, 3, and then another stripe. Okay, you guys will see what I'm doing shortly. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'll give you a hint. I was never a Rhodes Scholar. I don't know if I could give you... What's another hint? Quahog is in Rhode Island. You see? You figured it out yet? Have you determined what my riddle of a construction is about to be? It is probably some sort of segment of a... You can say it all together. Just pretend this is Blue's Clues. If you're not yelling answers at the screen, like if you're not yelling, a road, you're probably not playing this video correctly. You might think, okay, I just need to hit the play button. But no, you in fact need to immerse yourself in this experience. This is not a 3-dimensional film. This is something better. So we've got ourselves this delightful little road segment here, which I think is enough to start conveying the general idea of a road. Now, what do you put on the street or whatever? You put a cart or a car. So let's go ahead and get some rails here and put our little cart there. And let's go ahead and put some diamond blocks here that we will ignore and refuse to mine, because I'm sure that anything I do in this video, I will receive accusations. Oh my God, Etho did it. So you know what? Let's just use that. Let's just let that be. Okay. So what we have here is a beautiful 2008 lightly used minecart. This is my pride. This is my joy. Now, what have I got on top? Even though these diamonds might seem like treasure to some people, this minecart here, this is my treasure. And I don't want people taking it, right? So what I want to do in this episode of Redstone Wars is design the best car alarm ever. Now, as you can see, if you walk over here, okay, so there's some redstone. So this is a visual car alarm. Somebody who is deaf could see that and be like, well, that light went off. That is less than ideal for that guy who had a car there. And, yeah, that's the same car. That's not a different one. So our little car alarm for the deaf is a good start. But you know what? A lot of people are fortunate enough to have the ability to hear. So why don't we go ahead and experiment a little bit with some sort of chiming. And you guys can chime in if you have ideas in the comments. Although, I probably don't need to tell you that. You're going to do that no matter what. So now... Oh, see, that's horrible. Why isn't that not making noise? I think Skype made everything quiet. Hold on. Dang it, Skype, you are the worst. Okay. In-game sounds, up to 100. Okay, so now that's barely perceptible. Thank you, Skype. Okay, so even with a sound system set up in place, this is not necessarily good enough. So what we want, I think, is one of them awesome, like, crazy talking car alarms. And so what we need to do is, okay, for one thing, we need to set up a not gate here, because this is essentially, well, kind of stupid. It is not gonna, it only makes a chime when, wow, new sounds for things are disconcerting to me. You'll notice it's currently only making a chime when the cart moves off, or moves back onto the thing. We want the chime when the cart moves off instead of back on. So we're just gonna, this is a really weird ground also. So, got our nice little note block here. And so if we reset the cart, whoops. Let's just reset the cart. Cart moves. Now, so, okay, we have a basic chime when the cart moves. I wish Skype did not make everything else quieter, because this is such an important thing. I'm going to have to probably turn this up in post-production. I hope you can hear it. Okay, so, basic car alarm. But the thing about basic stuff is good for, like, I don't know, hey, let's make a game called Nibbles or Gorillas or something. But it's not good for a competition that is a battle of the greatest minds of our generation. And so what we need here, let's go ahead and build in some extra space on this, because I know that I'm going to probably replace this internal circuitry here in a second. So we need a voice that says, let's see, /me, step away from the vehicle. So, if I hit this, see that? Step away from the vehicle. Oh, that ruined the, that ruined that, because unfortunately the redstone here needs to be, there we go, new sounds. This snapshot thing, okay. So now we got this chime and the basic car alarm here. Now what we'd like to do is probably have it, when your car alarm goes off, you don't want it to go off one time. You want it to continuously go off as a warning to everyone else. So, what we're going to do is we're going to set up some sort of crazy repeater loop thing. And this is the sort of thing where if I was better at redstone, I'd have figured out a perfect one of these well in advance. But I did not. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to come down here and we're going to dig out a whole bunch of this. Dig, dig, dig. And go down here. Let's see, I'm going to need so much more space than I have. So we're just going to keep knocking out all of this. I'm trying to get a healthy mix of building and decoration in here with my design. Because, you know, on the show This Old House, they didn't just, you know, build a house that looked nice. They built a house that people could live in. And so it's important to me that what I make also, you know, has a purpose. Okay, so what we're actually going to do, I think, on this side here is have this step. Okay. Well, that was horrible. Everything about that was stupid. So, redstone there. Okay. So, we'll set up an output here. And we will go boom, boom. Set these to 4. And then set these to 4. Set these to 4. I don't love these new sounds, if you haven't noticed. Okay, so. Okay, so for some reason, that is now perpetually on. Why? Oh, because this isn't sending a pulse. We need to turn this part right here into a pulse. Whoops. And we should probably not break our road either, because that is a huge problem for the people that had to repair roads, who are, unfortunately, in this case, me. Okay. So, cart goes right there. And, wait. Okay. So let's interrupt this real quick. Okay, so cart is placed here. So now there's no power coming out of there. How is there power coming out of there? Oh, okay, there we go. The little pulse thing here had gotten chasing its own tail. Okay. So, what I probably want to do then... Okay, yeah. So, what is the best way to turn... Okay, let's figure this out. Let's step through this logically. So, we need to turn the change in state here into a pulse that then flips this on and then starts repeating step away from the vehicle, step away from the vehicle. Now, one of the things that I brought with me is a handy dandy note block reference thing, and not note block reference, Minecraft reference application called a web browser. So we're going to use the web browser real quick because there is no rule against open book in this competition. Redstone circuits, Minecraft wiki. Because, you know, some of the greatest minds of our generation are participating in this. And, so I've got to, you know, take advantage of every rule that they forgot to make in the book. Or not in the book. Okay, so let's see here. Power and blocks, redstone wire signal and strength, signal duration, blur, blur, blur. How do I turn something into a pulse? Wow. I'm primarily a comedian. I mean, I am a programmer in my day job, but I'm not a redstone guru, if you will. T flip-flops, pulse generators. Okay. A pulse generator is a device that creates a pulsed output when the input changes. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. Cool. So, real quickly, let's set up another one here. Time set 0. Okay, and so if we push this off of there, easy. Okay, great. That might come up later. So what we need to do is actually install a pulse generator underneath here. So that we will actually probably run this way. We'll take advantage of this area under the road here and just clear all this out with our massive creative mode Minecraft bashing skills, minecart bashing skills. And so let's see what we got here. So we are going to run that down to there. And so it seems like most of these pulse generators require some sort of space, which is one of the dimensions that's kind of like time, but is generally more physical. So we're just going to bling bling this over here. Well, actually, hold on. Seems like I want to go... Okay, so we go this way, and we put a block in with a torch, and then that torch runs wire to a block that also gets powered there. And so then we output a pulse. Let's see if that worked. I should probably have it not set the time to 0 every time. We'll say 6,000. Okay, so one thing that I'm noticing is I got rid of the NOT gate here, which is desperately important. So let's go ahead and add the NOT gate back in, because that will come up on the final. So, okay. How is this still running? Okay, so... Oh, because this pulses indefinitely until it's interrupted. So I'm gonna want to do that. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead then and add our little NOT gate here. Let's see. Of course, I should just select that and run that into here, which then has an output there, and then run the wire down out of there. Now, let's see. What's the best way to then cut the power so that this stops signaling? I'm not sure offhand. But you know what? That's okay, because it's a car alarm and it's supposed to be obnoxious and go off indefinitely. So, we just need to verify. Let's hook everything back up. And let's verify that the car alarm does indeed work. So we push this off of there. Then that sends the signal here, which then should trigger the pulse, but has not indeed done that. Let's put this back on the, dang it. Cart, you should do better. Do better, Cart. Okay, so we now have no signal. And if I move this, are these outpacing? What would cause that? So I think that maybe this is supposed to be... Okay. So if I want to increase the length of the pulse here, then what I need to do is get a repeater like that. And so let's go ahead and toggle that real quick. Okay. So that is pretty good. And we can even then set up additional, let's see, we'll call them dirt blocks over here with another one of those. Oh yeah, we want to set these both high. And redstone here. And also over on this one. So we're taking advantage of essentially every stroke of this engine. Whoops, want to get some dirt in there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I am pretty happy with this in general. But what we're going to want to do is go ahead and run one of the outputs. Let's go ahead and drop in a repeater here, just so we don't lose a signal. Okay, cool. So we will now turn this off for a second, just to kill it. There we go. Restore it. Whoops. And so if we put that there, dang it, that caused a change in state. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we have a effective car alarm that warns people to step away from the vehicle, and that's a decent first step, but that is by no means, I would say, finished. Oh, we're not going to want to mess with that block, are we? Okay. So, what we're going to do instead is, let's actually put the repeater here, just so that way we can run this back out of here and onto the wonderful, wonderful sidewalk here, because everybody loves a good sidewalk. So, let's see. If the street's about that wide. Sidewalk should be probably, let's just say, oh wait, sidewalk, I need a curb, don't I? Yeah, I probably need a curb. Well, we'll figure that out next. So we're going to start setting up more of a theatrical backdrop here. Okay. And so let's see. What is the best way to set up this curb? I probably just want to use the stone brick stairs. I hope these aren't the baby silverfish. Let's see. Actually, I think the best way to set up a gutter would be to put it like so. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, actually, no, wait. It would be the other way, wouldn't it? I'm learning so much about everything today. Okay, I gotta be on the lower part of the block, guys. Lower part of the block. We're professionals. It's not like I don't do this as one of my many jobs that I do. Okay, so there we go. We got our little gutter on this. Dang it. Picking the blocks. Oh man, that block picker tool is actually really nice. So, we're just going to run along here and do the same real quick. Because, you know, we've got our mines on the gutter. Lest we might otherwise end up with our mines on the gutter. Or in the gutter? I don't know. Sentences. How do they work? So, just get a little bit more sidewalk here. And I don't know if you guys can tell what city I'm going for yet, but it is indeed fictional. So we've already got our car alarm, like something straight out of Grand Theft Auto. So now we just need a beautiful city, like straight out of a different video game. And I need to be using that picker tool. Look. Oh, that's not it. There we are. So 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think we are at about the 33% mark in terms of time. So I've got to get everything I build here done real quick and then wire in the rest of the redstone. Now, it's fine to do something that's a little bit adventurous, but it's great to do something that's awesomely adventurous. And what's more adventurous than life or death situations? If somebody is going to break into a cart, especially my beautiful, previously owned 2008 minecart that I've got over there, then I want to make sure that, you know, they are, my car is an adventurer's car, let's just say. They better have earned it, you know? If they're going to mess with my car, they better be survivors. And so it's up to me to ensure that by alarming the car appropriately. So, wow, gutters and backdrops take a lot longer to lay than I was thinking, oh, the redstone's going to be the hardest part, but no, redstone's partially done, but it's all this other stuff that's going to be a pain. So I might even set up a redstone pulse output that goes across the road as well, because I might want stuff happening over here too. But, okay. So this is all coming together slowly but surely, and surely, don't call me Shirley, but because my name is Joe Hills. You can find me on Twitter as @JoeHills. You can find me on YouTube as youtube.com/joehillsTSD. Follow me on twitch.tv as Joe Hills. Man, self-promotion is hard. Let's go shopping. Okay, we are just nearly done here. Oh, I've still got the thing that sets the time, don't I? I should probably just go set that one off real quick. Okay, cool. So, that is done. Let's see. Now, what I'm probably going to want to do is I'm going to want to have a whole bank of these wonderful little machines here. Now, this one, I'm going to want to have weather, thunder, done. And I think I'm going to have to set up a... what do you call it? Repeater. Oh, look what I can do. I can just click on that. That is wonderful. And I think that still roughly works. Okay, great. Now, I'm going to have a reset button over here, or reset area. So this is going to be time set 6,000. Weather clear. Okay. So we are just going to have... Oh, repeaters are the way to do this. And we can just hook these up to a pressure plate here. Okay, great. So there we've got our little reset area. So this street is definitely not superimposing, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and get some buildings set up real quickly. I know that this is probably not going to be my finest hour in terms of creating beautiful objects, but, you know, time is a factor, so try not to expect too much from me, folks. Now, I don't know if he can see when I activate things.
Ding, 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 ding. We are at the 4 minutes and 5 second mark. Just wanted to let you know.
4 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay, cool. Hey, also, can you see what commands I'm setting? Like, because it'll show up on my screen. Like,
Yes, I can see the commands. Let me do, I think you can do game rule and you can disable being able, let's see, command, block, output. False. There you go. All right, so if you sit, okay, I thought I didn't unmute myself. Yeah, if
no,
you,
I can hear you.
yeah, if you do a command now, I don't think it'll show up on my side.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
All right, back to Solitude.
Bye. Okay, I've remuted my microphone here. And we are just going to build ourselves first little building. And this little building is not going to be my most ambitious structure ever created. But what it will contain is even more joy. You will be thrilled at the quantities of joy contained in this structure. I can tell you that right now. So we are just going to run... Actually, I probably don't want to go up that high here. I want to run this part back into here like so. Okay, so we are just running our redstone under here. So, yeah, that should now show up. I think that'll show up if that gets lit. Should probably actually just have this come straight up. That's probably the better way to do this. Yeah, we're just gonna... Better safe than sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Probably fine. But just in case, let's go ahead and give that a test here. And, oh good, my inventory is full of nothing to put in there. So, what can we dispense? Am I lined up with anything? No. Okay. I wish it would just give me the creative mode menu inside of there. Where are all the eggs? Oh, they're in the lava bucket. That's where they belong, clearly. So, just to be careful right now, let's go ahead and get a bunch of squid spawning eggs here. And so... Let's say then I'm going to set up a temporary pressure plate here just to test this. So, okay, yeah, we're going to want to clear that. Okay, so that'll fix that. Okay, so the squid definitely spawned. Excellent. And now I have a bunch of extra inks, you know, for my tattooings. Okay, great. So, now what I can do is I can set up dispensers along the side of the building here. And we can just... Actually, I'm probably going to want to have this be a little wider here. And let's set up...
30 seconds remain.
Oh no, 30 seconds. Well, I wanted to tell you that what I'm going to do is set this up like a car alarm from that game that you really like. So I need to get more zombie eggs. You know, The Walking Dead. That one. Dun dun dun. Come back on Friday, 3 p.m. Central.
Time would be up. Stop yo building, son.
I done stopped building. Oh, you can't hear me. I have stopped. I was gonna. I already said I done stopped building, but I hadn't unmuted, so I'm now up in the air, far away
All
from
right.
everything. So
Awesome.
yeah, I was gonna say. I might grab another drink out of the fridge real quick, but unless you need 15 minutes, I probably only need like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I just need about 3 to grab myself another glass of water, and then I'll be ready to go.
Cool. I'm gonna leave the mic open. So
All right, cool.
cool.